She's a fashion designer, recording artist, and media personality. Today, on the African edition of Daring Abroad, we share with you the entertaining story of Liz Ogumbo, a Kenyan entrepreneur based in South Africa.
Fashion and a fashion creative like me, or fashion entrepreneur, or creative entrepreneur, is not bound by location. I can be anywhere in the world. Music and fashion does not require me to sit in one place.
In South Africa, Liz Ogumbo is a household name. In just 7 years of living here, she has been able to successfully penetrate both the entertainment and fashion industries.
As a creative, I have been influenced by the world, you know? So one of the things I refuse to allow myself to become is one boxed sort of person who just sits and thinks that, okay, this is the corner and this is what we target.
But her journey did not begin here. Liz, who was born in Kenya, did not have a typical childhood. At the age of 16, she found herself living in the United States. This exposed her to numerous cultures and unique experiences. Due to her beauty as well as stature, she ended up joining the fashion industry as a model. This is where her passion for fashion was born. However, in 2005, Liz decided to move back home and hit the ground running.
When I moved back to Kenya, I hung around, set up a modeling agency called Imani International Model Management. A lot of people would remember that, and that was sort of my way of bringing fashion back to life, especially from a modeling perspective, because I felt like that was one of the things I could bring back based on my exposure and experiences within the modeling industry away.
Liz ran Imani Model successfully, and in just 2 years, the business evolved from a modeling agency to a fashion company named House of Imani. Her passion saw her eventually relocate to South Africa in 2011 to further her career, a decision that was not too hard for her.
Because I am daring, trust me. I'm the girl who you'll be like, let's all jump from the mountain. Who's gonna jump? I'll be the first one to jump. If I die, I die, but at least I died trying, you know? I think I'm fierce, I'm bold, and I'm fearless. There's no question about that. Put me anywhere and watch me, and watch my space.
Unlike most people, Liz did not find setting up a business in a foreign land difficult. This was, however, due to the preparation she had done before moving here.
When I moved here, I had actually already showcased in a platform called Arise Africa Fashion Week. That was 2008. 2008, showcased at Arise Africa Fashion Week here, got to meet and connect with the fashion industry, but I was still based in Kenya, but I thought that that was a very good link.
And in no time, Liz was able to establish her fashion house, Liz Ogumbo the Fashion Brand, based in Parkhurst, South Africa.
2011, started getting myself into different platforms, got into SA Fashion Week, which I've been doing for a few years as well, just to showcase my collections. And every year I came up with or created a couple of collections.
But this was only the beginning. For the longest time, Liz had also been passionate about starting a career in music. And during the numerous trips to South Africa, she made use of the opportunity to launch her music career.
A lot of artists at that time were signing such bad deals that put them in a position where when they left or when they had to leave, they don't even own. A lot of artists actually, surprisingly, still do not own their music. So I got a deal with Gallo Records for a distribution and marketing deal.
Yeah, she smiles with deep sincerity. The dress that she wears, the curls on her hair.
I have dubbed my sound Cancel because I couldn't find a genre for it. It's a melange of different sounds that I have been influenced by as a music consumer, enough to be able to start my music brand and just figure out that, you know what, Cancel is definitely a long-lasting name with power.
Who's that girl? Who's that girl? Her curves impress, her hips never lie.
Since launching her album Cancel In 2010, she has been able to partner with a number of celebrated African artists.
So I had Tumi from Tumi and the Volume, I had Zabs, The Last Letter. He's the guy who was jumping on the stage with Maro Pamore. I had MXO, who I call the African soul of funk, the African king of funk, really. And I also had RJ Benjamin. So I think for me, very strong artists, very strong connections, and that's power.
We will find out how Liz has been able to balance her music and fashion careers right after our Miles Away segment. On Miles Away today, we visit the West African country of Senegal, one of the countries that Liz Ogumbo draws inspiration from. Led by President Macky Sall, the country has a population of about 15 million people. Its capital city is Dakar. The country is rich in culture with plenty of natural attractions. One such attraction is Lake Retba that lies to the north of Cape Verde Peninsula. The lake is unique in that its waters turn different shades of pink depending on the season. Another scenic place is Nyokolo-Koba National Park, known for its wildlife. And just like Kenya, Senegal's economy is based on agriculture. And that's Miles Away. Before the Miles Away segment, we had just seen Liz Ogumbo establish her fashion house, Liz Ogumbo the Fashion Brand, as well as launch her first music album, Cancel, while in South Africa. But what was her inspiration?
A lot of people don't know where Kenya is, even in the map, you know, just where it is. And as a Kenyan who's so proudly Kenyan, who bears the name Cancel for my music, everybody know Cancel and know it's Liz. Everybody who's going crazy about Chakacha, even though we've been doing it for a while, is going crazy about it because everywhere I step, I gotta entertain. I've gotta let people know who I am, where I'm from, what we do, where I'm from, what area it is in. We're not just entertaining, we are letting them know about our culture.
And how is she able to balance the two, given that both require a lot of time and dedication?
Creativity and creating is a thing that happens every moment. I'm drinking wine, sitting in a beautiful ambience, watching a little girl jumping around. Next thing I'm like, okay, you know what? I need to create a collection called this, or I need to write music. And my process of creating is the same. I'm not bound creatively by a market or by a thing. It's everything. It's the food. It's the energy. It's me meeting amazing people. It's me walking into a space where people look so fresh and they're just breathing. It's me going to Senegal, which is one of my love affairs right now, you know, and just sitting and looking at the people and the culture, having them eating DB, drinking wine, watching the waves till 6 in the morning. There's so many different things. It's me being in Osu Market in Accra, just shopping and losing my head and thinking, gosh, I've got a new tune or I've got a new collection. So every moment is a creating moment for me. So it's about just dividing time.
Liz Ogumbo has indeed perfected the art of multitasking, but in 2014, she added more to her plate by hosting a 1-hour fashion program called Fashion Lab Africa every week on Cliff Central Station that she produces herself.
There is a big gap. We're operating in a $3 trillion industry. Africa only has a little piece of the pie. And what I want to do socially and take responsibility as a social African citizen is I want to be able to start having conversations with different stakeholders who can be able to help elevate and entertain, but also really just elevate our mindsets within the business behind fashion in Africa.
As if that was not enough, she has recently begun making her own wine.
It was about time to come up with my own wine. I've been trying to figure out how to get into this wine game for years and years, and I haven't been able to, and somehow this thing cracked, and it happened. The cool thing about wine, first I'll tell you, it's music in my wine. So when you scan this barcode with your phone, once you buy, this is Msenangu. Msenangu is a Chenin Blanc Chardonnay 2017. When you scan it, you actually get a free download of my track called Msenangu. which is really cool. So I bring you into my world through the wine.
Liz feels that Africa has so much to offer culturally and would love to see other Africans turn this beautiful culture into business. She attributes her passion and success to the exposure she received when she was a child.
And I really encourage everybody who's able to travel, especially Africans. You can't just sit in the corner. I mean, unless you can afford it, but if you can afford it, expose yourself and experience the world. There's so much more value to that. But I think that once you've been exposed to the world is your oyster, and you are a global citizen, and you just will keep going.
Liz also adds that the support she receives from her family and friends is vital to her achieving her dream.
I've got a very supportive husband. I've also got a very supportive family. I can still pick up the phone at midnight, call my dad and say, "Dad, I'm dying." And he'll be like, oh yeah, okay, where do we start? What's happening? So I love the fact that I can be able to still lean on my family, my dad, mom, my siblings, my husband, and a few people I would call brothers and sisters across the diaspora.
But despite her busy schedule and many travels, she has not forgotten her homeland of Kenya.
My heart is Kenyan. My soul is Kenyan. I am Kenyan. I go to Kenya a lot. I'll probably retire in Kenya, in the lakeside, watching the beautiful sunsets and drinking wine to the sunsets and enjoying buta and tilagin and mbuta, omena, you know, and all of the other different fish, tilapia, by the lake.
And this is her advice to all young people on our Diaspora Bite.
I know it sounds cliche, but if you put your heart to it, if your heart says do it, go for it and go all the way. Dream, but let your dream be able to continue to the end, to the finish line. You can't just dream and then leave your dreams hanging. Some people are still dreaming and waking up in the morning and moving on. Like Martin Luther, have a dream and let it come to life.
Liz Ogumbo has barely scratched the surface when it comes to investing in Africa. She further attributes her success to the love she has for the African culture, as well as her mission to see the African continent take its rightful place on the global stage. Until next week, I'm Michael Zimanti.